Earlier this week, Overwatch 2 released on Steam. To say it hasn't been received very well would be a massive understatement. The Steam community have voiced their opinions, with thousands of players installing the game just to negatively review it. To the point where Overwatch 2 is now the most negatively reviewed game on Steam. Remember Redfall? £60 for a buggy mess of a game that even Steam doesn't want you to find. And after all that, Redfall still has 31% positive reviews on Steam, and that game was an absolute disaster. Overwatch 2, on the other hand, has 9% positive reviews, and that number has been going down day by day. Blizzard has gotten really efficient recently at collecting all the unwanted achievements for a gaming company. I'm honestly quite impressed at this point, and I for one can't wait to find out what stunt they're going to pull next. So why is Overwatch 2 so hated? To find out, let's take a trip to the past. It's November the 7th, 2014. Blizzard announces Overwatch to the public, a new, promising 6 vs 6 player vs player first-person shooter that was dubbed as the successor to the hugely popular Team Fortress 2. Fast forward a few years, and Overwatch releases on May the 24th, 2016.
Guys win, guys win, guys win, guys win, guys win. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It was a huge success, with over 7 million active players during the first month after release. For a few years, we enjoyed the golden years of Overwatch. Before it happened. On November the 1st, 2019, Blizzard revealed Overwatch 2. I remember watching the trailer at the time, and thinking, wow, goosebumps. I mean, I still get goosebumps watching that trailer to this day. It's amazing. But less talk about the trailer, and more talk about BlizzCon. Jeff Kaplan, the game director of Overwatch at the time, came out on stage and revealed Overwatch 2. So far, so good. However, Jeff says a lot about Overwatch 2, so let's check out how much of what Jeff said translated to Overwatch 2's release. I think you can see where I'm going with this.
Overwatch is a team versus team 6v6 competitive experience, and there is no way we're losing that at all. In fact,
here we are in Overwatch 2, and would you look at that, it's 5 vs 5. Good start.
So Overwatch 2 will have a brand new core competitive game mode called Push, and it will also be played by the Overwatch League. Overwatch 2 will feature a ton of PVE content. We will have a complete story experience featuring story missions.
At the moment, there's one PVE mission in Overwatch 2. I wouldn't call that a ton of PVE content, or a complete story experience. This PVE DLC is more expensive than Overwatch 1 was. The PVE mission itself is a boring, uninspired mess. The pathfinding is laughable at times. These guys are next to useless, and serve literally no purpose other than being a time waster. This big robot we spent 6 minutes defending so it could repair itself, to help us with the mission? Yeah, it decided it was done walking, so it had to be pushed, and even then, we still gave up on that. Too lazy to make animations. Does this look like Torbjorn is actually doing something? Only one enemy in this entire mission was remotely interesting, and that's this guy. He pulls you in and CCs you until he's dead. This is the closest you come to actually needing co-op in this mission. Except, you can just shoot him while you're being grabbed. In games like Left 4 Dead, special enemies will immobilize you, and from then on, you're at the mercy of your teammates. Without them, you're dead. The only teammate you need is a healer. Other than that, you're just mindlessly mowing down robots. I mean, look at the end screen. It basically was a solo run anyway.
In addition, as you saw, we have something called hero missions, which hero missions are focused on highly replayable cooperative experience.
Yep, those got cancelled. So far, we're at one of the 3 selling points of the game, and that one thing is mediocre at best. Okay, so you don't like Overwatch 2. Then go back to the game you bought 7 years ago. Do you know what? Some people wish they could. Except there's a few small issues with that. Right after Blizzard announced Overwatch 2, they said they'd be going into silent mode whilst they worked on the game. For Overwatch 1, this meant the last update for the game would come less than 12 months later. The population of the game slowly died, playing the same meta for 2 years with no updates, when the game had just been played by the Brigitte and the Goat meta. This really burnt the player base out. The lack of updates and new content meant Overwatch 2 had to be good to bring those players back, but if it wasn't, we always had Overwatch 1 to go back to. Or so we thought. Towards the end of 2022, Blizzard announced that Overwatch 1 will be permanently shut down, being replaced by its free-to-play counterpart, Overwatch 2. One of the great reasons to buy Overwatch 1 was because of competitive integrity, and its pay once to play everything policy.
But we have ideas for additional maps and heroes that we'd like to add to the game. So we thought about this, and we decided the best way to add them to the game is to patch them in as free content and not as DLC.
So imagine players' reactions when Blizzard killed the game that they paid for, forcing them to play the new game like they're doing Overwatch 1 players a favour. We said free heroes and DLC? Well, if we force everyone onto Overwatch 2, we can monetize that game how we want. We never promised Overwatch 2 would have free DLC. No wonder the game is despised by the community. The only purpose Overwatch 2 serves is to rinse players' wallets. And judging by the gaming community's reaction, it'll be hard to make money off players if no one's playing the game.
We just know that when we patch a new hero into the game, we want it to be free and not as DLC.